Hello, welcome to the 2024 Celebration of Leadership for the Boulder Chamber. This is an annual event and it is one of my favorite. My name is Danica Powell. I am on the Chamber Board and the owner and founder of Trestle Strategy Group here in Boulder, Colorado, and also the proud awardee of last year's Boulder Chamber Virginia Patterson Business Leader of the Year Award. Tonight's gathering is a testament to the power of human connection and the bonds that unite us as a community. It truly shows that the Boulder Chamber is so much bigger than the individual members. It emphasizes the depth of connections within the community and underscores the impact individuals can have on each other's lives over the years. What makes this event unique and special, and something I didn't really understand last year, is that each awardee tonight knows that they're being honored, but they don't know who is presenting their personal award. Discovering that someone with whom you share a long-standing relationship and history creates a sense of suspense and excitement for the awardees as they await the revelation of the person who will honor them. This aspect adds a touch of spontaneity and genuine surprise to the ceremony, making the recognition even more meaningful and heartfelt, which it was for me last year. Moreover, this kind of setup highlights the genuine nature of the recognition being given. It's just not about the award itself or the formalities of the ceremony. It's about the personal connections and the stories behind them. It is a testament to the power of human relationships and the role they play in shaping our lives and our community. By showcasing these relationships, it becomes a celebration of the bonds that tie us together and the profound influence we have on one another. And while the trophies and flowers may be beautiful, it's the intangible value of these connections that truly shine through. Welcome to tonight's celebration of leadership. Thank you all for coming. Before we dive into the program, we have a PSA about us being a sustainable organization. We don't have paper programs tonight, so we do have a QR code that you can scan, and it will be up throughout the night. You can read more about the awardees and their backgrounds. You can learn more about the chamber. You can watch that video as many times as you want. Maybe you can even download it. You can show it to your friends, and you can read our annual publication, Boulder Today magazine, highlighting all the good work the Boulder Chamber team is doing on your behalf, as you got to see in the video. So to get us started, I want to welcome Scott Firle, Boulder Chamber's Senior Director of Member and Investor Relations, and Joseph E. Hovancak. I had to practice that. Did I do it? Joe, our new Vice President of Economic Vitality and Executive Director of the Boulder Economic Council.
All right, thanks, Danica. Good evening. I'm Scott Firle, and I'm excited to be here in front of a full house in this beautiful venue, the Dairy Arts Center. So just a round of applause, and thank you for hosting us. A round of applause for the Dairy Arts Center. It's now my privilege to thank our sponsors who recognize the importance of the Boulder Chamber events and programs like Celebration of Leadership and enable us financially to serve and support our members and community. As sponsors, these businesses are investing in the Boulder Chamber's mission of building community through business. I'll kindly ask to hold the applause till the end, but if there's someone you really like, give a woohoo! Our presenting sponsor this evening, FNBO, thank you. Community sponsor, Elevations Credit Union. Connection sponsor, Spice of Life. Celestial Seasonings, CU Boulder, Rule 4, and the WW Reynolds Companies. Our contributing sponsor, Blue Freddo Credit Union, and our media sponsors, BizWest and Daily Camera. Now let's give a round of applause. That went so much better than I thought it was going to. Thank you for the participation.
I think we should give a woohoo for Scott, right? All righty. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joseph E., or Joe Hovancak, as she was saying. And it's great to be up here with Scott. I kind of feel like I'm at the Grammys. And I am so excited to see you in the audience and to join you for my very first Celebration of Leadership event. How many people here, first time here? Raise your hands. Wow, that is a huge audience. How many people second time or more here? Well, thank all of you for your support. It's very exciting to be here to honor these incredible people, and it's going to be spectacular. And speaking of spectacular, let's talk about some of our spectacular standing strong members. Now, the Boulder Chamber, we work hard to bring our community together through a shared voice, common goals, and to drive forward with our community. The community, it is our foundation, and we need leaders like yourselves to help us move forward into the next generation of economy. We need you to stand strong with us, and we'd like to recognize those companies that are standing strong with the Boulder Chamber right now, and they're vital to the success of our programs, including membership, advocacy, my personal favorite, economic vitality, and most recently, transportation connections. I'd like to begin by recognizing on this slide those companies at the Chautauqua level, which represent companies that are either elite partner members or BEC investors. So please, big round of applause and a woohoo for these companies here. Woo! You guys are fantastic. We would now like to recognize the Sanitas Standing Strong levels. Companies that support the Boulder Chamber at the Sanitas level are either president partner members or elite partner members and BEC investors. And now, we're going to do a big thank you to these companies. Thank you to Altman Consulting, LLC, BAE Systems, Bank of Colorado, BizWest, BOK Financial, Boulder Community Health, Boulder Medical Center, Celestial Seasonings, Cigna, Conscious Bay Company, Daily Camera, FNBO, Fowler Automotive, Google, In Tandem HR, Kaiser Permanente, KPI Biopharma, Plant Moran, Premier Members Credit Union, Tebow Properties, 29th Street Mall, Warner Pacific Insurance Services, and Xcel Energy. Let's give a big round of applause for these companies. I was going to say this is a really long list, but I'm glad it's a long list. I hope it gets longer next year. So we appreciate all your support. And our Flagstaff level companies, they provide strong support in the areas of economic vitality, advocacy, and member service programming at the highest levels as president partner members and BEC investors or Strategy Council Boulder Together investors. We'd like to recognize them. They engage with us in our community, and let's give them a round of applause. And now we'd like to recognize the companies and individuals who are engaged with us in our community work.
All right, so first we'd like to thank Giovanni Rashidi, founding and managing partner at Berg Hill, Greenleaf, and Rashidi.
At Biomed Realty, Jennifer Chavez, Director of Leasing for Boulder.
All right. Blue Federal Credit Union, Vicki Schock, Business Development Specialist, Denver Metro Region.
At Corden Pharma, Colorado, Deborah Capra, Director of Human Resources, Environmental Health and Safety and Business Services.
All right, Elevations Credit Union, Dennis Paul, Vice President of Community Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And the WW Reynolds Companies, Bill Reynolds, founder.
All right, and University of Colorado Boulder, Lurie Call, Associate Vice Chancellor for Local Government and Community Engagement. Please join us in thanking these businesses and community leaders for the additional contribution they are making to keep the Boulder Chamber a strong and vital organization. All right, one more round of applause for everyone. All right, now let's welcome to the stage Gretchen Wahl, Regional Vice President at FNBO, our presenting sponsor for tonight's celebration.
So on my way here today, I got an email that my kid's school was already canceled. So it made me start to think, like, wouldn't it be nice if we all got a call from our bosses to say, snow day? But I don't think that's gonna happen. So, oh well. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Celebration of Leadership 2024. Thank you to the Boulder Chamber and staff for hosting this exceptional gathering, highlighting some of Boulder County's best, celebrating leadership, integrity, innovation, and collaboration. FNBO is proud to be the presenting sponsor of this signature event, and we want to congratulate tonight's incredible honorees, all well-deserving of the recognition and celebration. I'm Gretchen Wahl, Regional Vice President for FNBO, and have been enjoying fostering deep relationships and leading dedicated teams who work with business owners on their financial needs for more than 25 years. That was a mouthful, sorry. Founded in 1857, FNBO has maintained its commitment to helping build strong communities for 166 years. FNBO is the great big small bank. Big enough to meet all your financial needs, yet small enough to know you by name. We're independent, sixth generation family owned, and focused on the long view instead of the next quarter. We're proud to be part of all the communities we serve, especially here in Boulder. We believe banking is about building strong communities, and our longtime partnership with the Boulder Chamber is one way that we help to enrich the communities we serve. As the great big small bank, our purpose is to improve the financial well-being of our customers and ensure the success of all the communities we call home. We firmly believe that for a community to be strong, every individual must have the resources and opportunities to succeed. Every facet of our business is focused on financial well-being. That focus drives how we serve our customers to help them achieve their goals, how we provide our employees with an exclusive environment in which to excel, how we provide our how we engage businesses we purchase goods and services from, how we support nonprofit organizations in our communities, and even how we work to sustain and improve our environment. Our financial services extend beyond our branch locations, including business banking, mortgage, commercial lending, commercial real estate, and wealth management. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you again to all our sponsors for making this event possible and your continued support to Boulder's Chamber's mission. So I'm about to introduce a guy you don't know too well or have never seen out in the community, but I swear he means well. JK, as my 13-year-old daughter would say. John Tayer is a leader of the Chamber, smart as a whip, a stellar friend, and a cheerleader for all of us. Now you might be wondering, does he ever sleep? The answer is no. Molly, is that correct? I know Molly. Because from where I'm standing, it seems like he's always on the move, always advocating for our community, always championing our causes. He's the first person I call when I've got a big, hairy problem to solve and I don't know where to start. And I swear he wasn't at the table next to me last night downtown at the newest, coolest restaurant at Stella's, where he was wining, dining, or networking is what he said. His leadership continues to inspire and drive positive change in Boulder and beyond. Please welcome to the stage, John Tayer, Boulder's Chamber President and CEO.
It was work at Stella's, I swear. Okay? All right, so I'm going to read this because I want to make sure I get it right, but I will tell you it's from the heart. So I welcome you to the Celebration of Leadership, which doubles as our annual meeting for the Boulder Chamber organization. To that end, and because nothing says celebration like annual meeting, I have a few words of business. So first, because we typically wait until the end of the evening to acknowledge them, and when everybody's hands are losing circulation, I want to take this moment to personally thank the folks behind the scenes who keep the Boulder Chamber engine running. I'm blessed to have a staff team and board of directors who work together on doing remarkable things. Our board is a bunch of community leaders who know just exactly how to steer this Boulder Chamber ship with the right amount of guidance and freedom. They give of their time, their insights, and they do it for our community. I ask them to please rise, and if you will join me in thanking them, our Boulder Chamber Board of Directors, including Danica. Second, I'm only standing here because there is a mighty group of individuals who I have the honor to work with on a daily basis, our Boulder Chamber staff team. They are the perfect mix of determination, smarts, and good humor to deal with the insanity that is me. And you can ask my amazing wife how just insane it is to deal with me. Even more important, they are devoted to the mission of serving you, our Boulder Chamber membership and community. I will recognize that a couple of them have birthdays today. Scott Firle. Courtney is out there. Courtney has a birthday. And Judy Zarimick. If the Boulder Chamber staff team will please rise and please give them an ovation for all their commitment to our work. They're hiding away, they're up there. And lastly, I want to thank you. And I do it with this. For nearly 120 years, the Boulder Chamber has been standing as the foundation of support for our businesses, the local economy, and our collective community welfare. We will mark the 120th anniversary next year, but I mention the milestone now in the context of why we are here tonight. The Boulder Chamber organized in order to build, many of you will not know this, the Hotel Boulderado. Why? These leaders realized that a town built on support for mining needed a more diverse economy to thrive into the future. And tourism, and I think Charlene Hoffman from Visit Boulder would agree, seemed like a good bet. That was individual business leaders, people like you, identifying a challenge, adopting a strategy, and implementing a solution. Why? Because they wanted a brighter future for you, our community. Some years later, the Boulder Chamber led a similar fundraising drive to secure land for the first federal laboratory, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. That was a critical cornerstone, along with our prized University of Colorado, for the research and innovation economy which we enjoy today. What was the why then? It was the same desire to do what is right for our future generations. That generation is you. And today, while the issues may be different, we know why we do what we do at the Boulder Chamber. We do it for you, for our member businesses, for our economy, and for our community. We all know homelessness is a crisis for the unhoused and for all of us who deal with the impacts. That is why the Boulder Chamber pursued a strategic framework in collaboration with our other business support partners to address that challenge. And that is why we have invested additional staff resources to take action on these homeless solutions. Boulder's future depends on accessible housing, mobility options, and a workforce that is prepared for jobs of today and tomorrow. That is why we pursued the Boulder Together program that has led to thousands of new housing units, tangible transportation system improvements, and multiple workforce development programs. And that is why, as the world is changing around us, with shockingly empty office buildings, stressed restaurants and retail shops, and criminal behavior never before seen in our community, the Boulder Chamber will be recalibrating its Boulder Together program to refocus on the greatest economic and community challenges of today. And finally, We are fortunate to live in an era when we are more awake to the impacts of historic racism and are compelled, both for economic reasons, but also to the core of our souls, to diversify our community, to make it a more welcoming and inclusive place, and to live the vision of what one of our award winners calls a beloved community, where all individuals are treated with full dignity and respect. Yeah. And that is why the Boulder Chamber first reviewed its own internal policies to make sure we were living the same DE&I values. And that is why we have invited you to join in this crusade with initiatives like our Equity Amplification Program and tonight's launch of our community agreements. It's a start down the road from acknowledgement to healing to a brighter future for all of us. Yes, the Boulder Chamber knows why it does its work. It does it for you, for individual businesses and business success, for our economy, and for our community. That is why I am proud to stand before you tonight at our annual meeting to celebrate our organization's accomplishments that would not be possible without the support of our members, our supporters, investors, and many of the community partners that are with us tonight. And that is why I thank you. But enough annual meeting business. Tonight we celebrate the accomplishments of those who, through their own business success and community contributions, embody the same values and determination that propel the Boulder Chamber. They know why they do what they do too. So let's get going and get the celebration underway. Thank you.
All right, let's party. So we're going to start with some music. We have a special musical performance in store for you. Our next performer is a born and raised singer-songwriter who's graced stages at numerous festivals across Colorado. Notably, she was a finalist in the 2017 E-Towns Handmade Songs competition and has achieved considerable success as an emerging young songwriter. Recently, she was selected to participate in the Boulder County Artist in Residence program. I didn't know about her until today, and I streamed her all day on Spotify. I encourage you to do the same. Again, connections that happened tonight are amazing. Please welcome Shae. She will grace us with her talent performing the soulful Holding On. Please give a warm welcome for Shae.
How's everyone doing? So great to be here and celebrate with you all. Thanks so much for having me. I'm gonna play a song that I wrote. It's called Holding On. And it's about really just like having a dream and just really believing in it, and I thought it would be fitting for tonight. So this is Holding On. Sometimes you see it, and then it's gone. Take your aim, chase every flame that flickers off and on. Just when you need it, it's hard to find. Thinking the path you're on seems wrong and what you left behind. Leaving or lasting, all this life is asking is that I keep holding on, holding on, holding on. I'm holding on till the moment it's gone. Through the highs and the nights that are long, whether they gather or they scatter, I still carry my song. 'Cause I'm holding on, no, I'm holding on. Gotta pay your dues, sometimes you lose. Turn every stone, break every bone just to light the fuse. And when the noise is all around, you gotta yell, gotta raise wrote each lit up sign. The voice that's caught up in the wind is crying out from deep within. Everyone here has a story to sell, but I'm not quite sure just what I tell. Even when it seems it's almost gone, even when the ground I'm standing on shakes and rattles and breaks upon the weight of wondering where I belong. I'm holding on, holding on, holding on. I'm holding on till the moment it's gone, through the haze and the nights that are long. Whether they gather or they scatter, I still carry my song. 'Cause I'm holding on, oh, I'm holding on. I'm holding on. I'm holding on. I'm holding on, oh, I'm holding on. I'm holding on till the moment it's gone. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
That was amazing. Thank you, Taylor. And now we're on to the best part of the night, the award ceremony. Remember, the recipients don't know who is giving them their award. So the first award tonight is the Rising Star Award. This award recognizes an up-and-coming individual who has had a significant positive impact on an industry, the local economy, and the Boulder community. The sky is the limit for this future leader. To introduce our first honoree of the evening, we welcome to the stage Social Venture Partners CEO, Joshua Silberstein.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and members of the Boulder business community. It is with great excitement and appreciation that I have the opportunity to introduce this year's Rising Star Award to a leader whose passion, innovation, and selflessness have not only elevated the arts, but have also ignited a spirit of unity and inclusivity in our community. As our friend Deborah Malden says, she steps in and makes things happen. She elevates women artists in our community. She has been a Boulder resident since the age of 2 and an accomplished artist in her own right. As the founder of the New Local, an all-women and women-identifying art nonprofit, she's not only created an organization, she has cultivated a space where creativity thrives and communities come together. What began as a pop-up in 2019 on East Firle, did anybody go to that pop-up in 2019? All right. It has blossomed into a full-fledged community-focused organization. The New Local has achieved remarkable milestones, displaying the work of over 100 female artists, providing education programs to hundreds of children, and granting 25 full scholarships to local youth. Rooted in inclusiveness, the New Local goes beyond traditional art spaces, ensuring that art is truly for everyone. Our Rising Star's commitment to giving back extends to her partnerships with other nonprofits, and she also worked diligently for the passage of 2A, the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Tax. As Elena Aranda from Amistad shares, she has been super available to organize community art projects. When I proposed that we collaborate in the Day of the Dead procession, she was very excited to collaborate with our community. She offered us materials and the space for the participants to do their makeup and for all the families who participated. We are very grateful for her kindness and for being supportive and offering more access to art projects for everyone. We have always felt welcome in the New Local. In 2024, they are seeing ambitious plans come to reality for a music education program and art classes for the LGBTQIA+ community. She hasn't just created an arts nonprofit, she has carved out spaces where the voices and creations of local women shine, are championed, and their art is sold at a rate that ensures artists take home a significant portion of the profits. Lynette, her director of operations, shares, Marie-Juliette's determination to turn her incredible vision into reality is unlike anyone I have witnessed. The growth, creativity, and innovation of the new local in its first year is truly attributed to Marie's ability to persevere and lead with imagination. Her commitment to community building, creativity, economic development, and inclusivity makes her the embodiment of a rising star. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating and welcoming to the stage our 2024 Boulder Chamber Rising Star, Marie-Juliette Bird, founder of the new local.
That was such a beautiful introduction. Thank you, Josh. And thank you and your cohorts at SVP for being mentors to me and to us at the new local and the work that you do in the, I think Josh left, but thank you to SVP. That's cool. There he is. Josh, thanks. He's there. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you to John and the Chamber for this award on behalf of the new local. We promise to continue ascending this rising star until we are a new local shaped constellation in the firmament above Boulder, emanating a glow of beauty and hope to anyone who might look up. Okay, so a spoiler, we're here representing the arts tonight, so buckle up, there are lots of metaphors coming your way. My parents moved to Boulder in 1975, and they came here from Berkeley in driving an orange VW camper van, and they bought their first home on 5th Street for $15,000. Wow. Yeah. And my dad was writing books like Peace Against War and professing at the university. And my mom taught French at Centennial Middle School, and she served on the board of Historic Boulder. So they both worked full-time, which meant that I got to spend a lot of time at Ballet Arts, which was a dance studio above Tom's Tavern. Who here remembers Tom's Tavern? Yeah, okay. For those newbies, Tom's was a greasy spoon where Salt is now on 9th and Pearl. And my childhood friends and I, we'd take dance class, and then we'd infiltrate Pearl Street and go loiter at the Boulder bookstore, and then spend our allowance at Haagen-Dazs, and then learn about the language of incense down at Oloro. And downtown was really our stomping ground. And that dance studio is where my deep love for the arts was born and nurtured, and where my life path and identity as an artist took root. So, after sowing lots of creative wild oats in big cities, I heeded Niwat's call back to Boulder, and when I came back home, a lot of things had changed. You couldn't buy a house anymore for $15,000, and Tom's and Ballet Arts weren't downtown anymore, and all of the little galleries and funky art studios had disappeared from downtown. So I decided to restake a claim for the creative community downtown so that kids growing up here could have that same quality of experience that I had of feeling part of a really special downtown culture. And so that our very talented community of artists could be able to show their work to visitors to Boulder and also share their gifts of education and mentoring with the broader community. So I galvanized all of the talented artists that I knew of and started a nonprofit called The New Local. And we received our first donation from a young woman philanthropist. It was a $15,000 check. And I took that check and I signed a lease for the beautiful Montgomery House down on West Pearl Street. And for those of you who haven't been to visit, I hope you do come and visit us. We're in the gorgeous yellow Victorian just next to Spruce Confection. And I just also like to mention that that amount of the check was how much, again, it cost for my parents to buy a house in Boulder, just for context. So, you know, I've been thinking a lot about leadership in the run-up to this event. And it took 5 years to establish the new local, and it was a full-time commitment that required total devotion, sacrifice, tenacity, passion, discipline, investment, and those were qualities that I honed at Ballet Arts. So I think bringing a vision to life is an act of creative leadership. And, you know, in the words of our national treasurer, Kevin Costner, if you build it, they will come. So I did build the new local through this creative leadership, but then all these people did come. And then learning how to lead people is actually another type of leadership that I feel like I'm learning in real time with the help of a lot of people in this room. So I think the main thing that I am learning about leadership that I'd like to impart is the importance of surrounding yourself with people who have qualities that complement who you are, so that when the public is looking at you, they get distracted by the really talented cohort around you, and they forget to notice your flaws. So to Lynette Arante, our Director of Operations, thank you for being a dazzling distraction in service of the new local. As our Director of Operations, you single-handedly launched our education program with a true love for children and a mysterious gift for finding simple solutions to complex problems. You embody grace under pressure, and you possess a seemingly inexhaustible endurance for cultivating enchanted relationships. I'd also like to thank Colleen, who is our talented, tenacious firecracker who's helped spreading the gospel of the new local far and wide. Is here tonight. Thank you, Colleen. To John Tayer for always answering my emails. And to you and Deborah for embracing this project and encouraging me from the beginning. And as an aside, there is a YouTube video of John visiting the new local, and he tries his hand at woodworking, and he's part of our art installation, so you guys should check it out. He does a great job. Pure goofiness. Yeah. I'd like to thank John and our friends at Chautauqua, and there's an art bear on our lawn at the new local. You should come see. To our friends at Downtown Boulder Partnership for being wonderful allies, and to the new Executive Director, Bettina, we're so happy that you're here. To Len from Historic Boulder, everyone at Create Boulder, Danica, Judy Amabile, and our friend and mentor, Jan Burton, and to Stephen Tebow for entrusting us to steward your beautiful historic building, and to anyone here who has taken my call, answered a question, visited the gallery, brought a friend, trusted us with a grant or sponsorship, referred us to a donor. This project is now way bigger than I am, and I'm incredibly grateful to all of you who are helping us to cultivate a vibrant arts culture in downtown Boulder.
The best. Place is amazing. Everybody should go visit right away and bring your kiddos too. So we continue this evening with our next award, Boulder's Entrepreneurial. Oh wait, I think I got out of order. Sorry. Business of the Year, right, Maya? Sorry. Okay. I got excited. Our next award, Innovative Business of the Year, recognizes a business or organization that demonstrates the innovative spirit, creative problem solving, and pioneering approaches to organizational success and industry growth that exemplifies the character of Boulder's business community. To present our next award, please welcome Bobby Pelz, founder and managing partner of McDonald and Pelz and former board chair of the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless.
Hi, everybody. I'm usually more extemporaneous than this, but I've been told I have 120 seconds. If I go over, forgive me. Good evening. It's a privilege to be here honoring a collaboration of the private, nonprofit, and governmental sectors in bringing about meaningful change and helping the homeless and unhoused community. Making progress in mitigating the homelessness problem in America as a whole and Boulder as our community is going to come about if we all realize that by definition, if a person is housed, he is no longer homeless. We all know that it's not this simple. Mental health and addiction services are key as well, of course. Yet in the end, by providing housing for those who are on the streets, that's where we're at. Innovative spirit and compassionate community are what brought my family and my business to Boulder 33 years ago, and these two traits define why we're here tonight to present the Innovative Business of the Year Award to Element Properties and to the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless for their joint efforts. Element Properties, a local real estate developer, has long been an active and esteemed member of our community. However, in recent years, their commitment to social impact has shone brightly through their partnership with the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless. I personally had the pleasure of working with Catherine Bean from Element, who is also a board member of the shelter on this project. Element's commitment was unwavering. The Boulder Shelter, an equal partner in this innovative collaboration, considers its most critical mission as finding housing solutions for its clients that get them on a path towards self-sufficiency. Most Boulderites think of the shelter solely as the facility in North Boulder that provides emergency temporary housing and soon a day facility for those in need. But the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless does much more than that. It helps provide long-term, permanent, supportive housing and mental health services throughout the county. The Homeless Shelter and Element Properties, alongside key partners, including the City of Boulder, the City of Longmont, Boulder County, the Colorado Division of Housing, and the Colorado Housing Finance Authority, embarked on an ambitious journey. Their goal was not just to construct buildings, but to create homes, safe havens for those who have faced the harshest realities of homelessness. As a result of these efforts, Element Properties and the Homeless Shelter has led to the development of 40 units of permanent supportive housing in Boulder at the Bluebird building. Furthermore, they're working together in constructing an additional 55 units in Longmont at the Zinnia project, which is scheduled to open its doors in November of this year. Congratulations. Both Bluebird and Zinnia will provide homes for some of our community's most vulnerable individuals, those with the longest history of homelessness, who, because they do not have a home to go to every day, face monumental barriers to stability. Without this compassionate intervention, their lives would remain on the streets, a fate that tragically far too many have met. Sometimes we forget the complexity of endeavors like these two projects. The dance of securing funds from the competitive government and private sources, the planning of operating budgets to ensure ongoing support, and navigating the labyrinth process of acquiring government rental assistance. Element Properties and the Homeless Shelter embraced it all. Their determination has made this model for housing intervention a reality for 95 homes. Collaboration between private for-profit organizations, nonprofit agencies, and governmental agencies is possible. And as this example illustrates, the synergy is powerful. Tonight we celebrate their accomplishments. Innovation and compassion, when combined with a lot of effort and perseverance, can transform lives and build a better, more inclusive future for Boulder. We're good. Please join me in welcoming to the stage a special guest who has come here tonight to help us honor Element Properties and the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless, and will present this award to them. our governor, and no strangers to us here in Boulder, Jared Polis.
Thank you, Bobby.
Surprise, everybody. Hi. Bobby, thank you. I'm here really because we appreciate all the leadership of the Boulder Chamber and the important work, especially with regards to making sure that we have housing close to where jobs are and transit. Appreciate the work of John Tayer and Andy Schulteis and Jonathan Singer, who's there at the Capitol every day, making sure that the voice of the Boulder business community is heard. And we're here to honor and recognize the bold, innovative partnerships that are helping to expand housing opportunities across our state. We know that home is a lot more than just a shelter. And that's why, working with the Chamber, we are focused on making sure Coloradans can afford to rent or purchase a home near job opportunities, lowering costs for business, strengthening our workforce. And in Colorado, we know that by working together, we can find the solutions to our biggest challenges. We are so excited to help honor two of the Boulder Chamber Awards winners tonight for the 2024 Boulder Chamber Innovative Business of the Year. I would like to welcome to the stage Sarah Mishak, the Chair of the Board of Trustees for the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless. Sarah. And Scott Holton and Chris Jacobs, Element Properties co-founders, and Catherine Bean as well, principals at Element. Congratulations. Thank you for your work.
What a surprise to see you.
Yes, it's good to see you. Welcome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thanks for your work. Great. Come over here to John. No, you guys.
Oh, I get to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that really was a surprise. I have to say, it takes a lot to surprise me, but that did it. That did it. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. And we appreciate, Governor, all your efforts on behalf of everyone in Colorado in the part of ending homelessness and increasing housing. That is something that is obviously near and dear to our hearts. And thank you, Bobby, for that wonderful introduction and for all your efforts with the shelter and on behalf of our homeless neighbors in the community. Thank you. So as the chair of the board of directors of the Boulder Shelter for the Homeless, I am beyond honored to be here tonight to accept this award on behalf of our dedicated staff who are there tonight in a critical weather night, providing shelter for 180 of our unhoused neighbors, and will be there throughout the day tomorrow to make sure nobody has to weather the elements. So just a recognition to our staff. And on behalf of our board of directors and our fearless and innovative leadership team. We have a rock star leadership team that is innovating probably faster than the board can keep up with them. As Bobby indicated, homelessness is a national crisis, and Colorado's not immune, and Boulder County's not immune. We had over 1,200 individuals last year seeking homelessness services in Boulder County. And homelessness costs dearly both the community and individuals. A homeless individual's life expectancy for an adult is 24 years less than that of a housed person. And I will say this clearly and loudly: housing ends homelessness. That's about as simple as it gets. Housing ends homelessness. And it is also cost effective. Providing housing for someone is 40% more cost effective than providing those services in the street, in a prison, or in a hospital. So it is smart business as well as being the right thing to do. Thanks to this collaboration with the three of you and your team, as of 6 weeks ago, 40 of our unhoused neighbors now have a roof over their head, and they are receiving case management and supportive services from shelter staff to keep that roof over their head and to rebuild their lives. Yep. And I am thinking of them tonight as we're about to get 18 inches or more of snow. I'm thinking of Anna, who was unhoused for 2 years and didn't think she'd ever get housed. And she's now happily nesting in her apartment and rebuilding her life. I'm thinking of Jeff, who now can get a surgery that he couldn't get before because he now has a place to recover. And I'm thinking of Roger, who now has a place where he can welcome his granddaughter and spend time in a place of his own with her. So creating housing is not just the right thing to do, it is the smart thing to do. And it works. And in fact, it's the only thing that does work to end homelessness. I am so grateful and honored to be on the stage with my good friend Catherine and her partners. And it is this type of innovation by leaders of our community that's going to do this. So I encourage all of you to be creative, to be innovative, to work with us, to work with other folks in the community. Homelessness is an issue that affects all of us, whether we're housed or unhoused, and this effort really shows that we can change it. So I'm going to turn it over to Catherine and her team with gratitude. Sir.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank you, Governor Polis, and thank you, Sarah, and thank you to my partners, Scott and Chris, for letting me take the mic. We're so honored to get this award. And when we think about Boulder, we think of a place that has a culture of creativity and collaboration, something that everyone in this room brings to the table. We're known as an innovation hub. We send rockets and people to outer space. We invent new proteins and new ways of gardening to preserve water. We create beautiful art. We care deeply for humanity. Boulder is the place. And us real estate developers, we're really just problem solvers. We manage schedules and construction budgets and design challenges in order to create places for people to live, work, and play. But the homelessness crisis requires going beyond business as usual. So what happens when the most pressing problem is a societal one, and solving it can reduce suffering amidst our community members and save money? The answer is Bluebird. And in order to make Bluebird a reality, we brought together the very best team. The Boulder Shelter, of course, but also architects with expertise in trauma-informed design, contractors, property managers, and 8 different sources of financing. Private companies, nonprofits, and government agencies at all levels collaborated on Bluebird. It's a true public-private partnership. And although we all came from different venues, we are all aligned in mission and values. And Bluebird showed us all that good business and good outcomes for the community aren't mutually exclusive. So now, as Bobby noted, we're exporting Bluebird. We're under construction on a similar project in Longmont called Zinnia, and we welcome you to come visit it. If you're interested, please reach out. So our innovative problem-solving spirit that relates to our Boulder roots brought our community Bluebird, which we know is replicable in Boulder and throughout Colorado and beyond. Thank you all. We really appreciate this honor and are so grateful to be here tonight.
Flowers, you guys split them up. There's only 3 cupcakes or buns.
I want the cupcakes.
That was amazing. Thank you, Governor Polis. You're still here. That was an amazing surprise. This is what this night is all about. Thank you, Chamber staff, for making that happen. It was incredible. So we're going to continue with the next award, Entrepreneurial Business of the Year Award. This award recognizes a top achiever who best exemplifies the spirit and mindset of entrepreneurship through vision, leadership, and success. To present this award, we have another very special guest. Please join me in welcoming to the stage River and Woods chef and partner Daniel Asher.
We have such a cool community. I just want to say, this is amazing. To be a part of this is awesome. The energy in the room is phenomenal, and Governor Polis, I think, elevated it quite a bit, which is really great. It's an honor to stand before you today to introduce the recipient of the Entrepreneurial Business of the Year Award, a company that not only exemplifies the spirit of entrepreneurship, but is also a beacon of innovation, sustainability, and social responsibility. Today, we celebrate a business that not only has redefined the landscape of its industry, but has also demonstrated an unwavering commitment to making a positive impact on both the environment and the community that it calls home. In the world of entrepreneurship, there are those who not only embrace change, but drive it with visionary leadership, unyielding determination, and a commitment to excellence. Today, we acknowledge Meati, a company that has not only embraced innovation, but has propelled itself to the forefront of the animal-free protein market with unparalleled success. In 2023, Meati achieved a milestone that set it apart from the rest, the grand opening of its mega ranch in Thornton. This one-of-a-kind facility, unlike any other in the food production landscape, has unlocked significant production capabilities, propelling the national distribution of its products made from mycelium, mushroom root. Meati's innovative approach to providing a natural whole food rich in critical nutrients with far less environmental impact is not just a culinary feat, it's a testament to the company's commitment to redefining the future of food. As a chef and local business owner, I'm presented constantly with interesting ingredients to play with. And so many meat substitutes and meat analogs are just full of insane ingredients. If you turn them around, there's like 20 or 30 things for something that should just have 4 or 5 ingredients. Meati has 4 or 5 ingredients. It's clean, it's beautiful, and it's the best vegetarian protein I've ever worked with in my career. In just 18 months, from late 2022 to early 24, Meati has soared onto the shelves of 3,000 grocery stores across the nation, including Sprouts, Whole Foods, Meijer, Cub Foods, and many others. By mid-2024, their products are projected to be available in a staggering 8,000 stores. The early data speaks volumes, repurchase rates reaching up to 60%, the highest among animal-free proteins, and a remarkable 40% of Meati sales coming from consumers venturing into the world of animal-free meat for the first time. I have had the honor to run frantically to a table multiple times of vegans who are dangerous when angry. I was vegan for 2 years, and I also was in that mindset, which is totally fine. However, I was accused of serving them chicken, and how dare I have the opportunity to put anything in front of them in conflict with their spiritual beliefs about food. And I had the awesome opportunity to bring out actual grilled chicken from the kitchen and say, this is our beautifully sourced, pastured, fantastic chicken, and what you are eating is actually Meati. And don't worry, nothing horrible happened. You just had a delicious bite of food. Meati's commitment to innovation is unwavering. In 2023, they introduced 3 new flavors to their core line and 3 flavors of jerky. Their ability to respond to the ever-evolving consumer palate with agility and creativity has solidified their position as true trailblazers in the industry. The opportunity to work with them and their team, Tyler, Justin, Patrick, Ira, Chef Ian, incredible group of folks doing amazing work. To be able to tour their facility before the mega ranch opened, and to see the energy in that space, and to see the fermentation tank, which had production capabilities that were completely mind-blowing, at the time, and now where they're at is, 100 times forward from that. But to be able to be a partner for them of innovation locally in the community, and to be able to utilize Meati before it was officially released to the public, and to then see the impact that it made once it was released, has been a tremendous journey for me. It's their commitment to social responsibility and community engagement that elevates them to the pinnacle of entrepreneurship as well. From supporting renewable energy initiatives to organizing donation drives for wildfire victims and volunteering with local nonprofits, Meati has seamlessly woven social responsibility into the fabric of its identity. Meati is not just an entrepreneurial success story, it's a symbol of what can be achieved when innovation, sustainability, and social responsibility converge. They are a company that not only thrives in the market, but enriches this community and beyond, and paves the way for a more sustainable and compassionate future. At the end of the day, we just eat too many animals. And it's Meati that is trailblazing the way for us to make better decisions and live in a more peaceful and compassionate world. Please join me in congratulating Meati's co-founder, Tyler Huggins, for their extraordinary achievements to the business community in Boulder and beyond. Where's Tyler?
Hey.
What's up, brother? I was wondering who that was sitting in front of me.
Sweet, brother. Cool.
Wow, that means a lot. Man, this is, been a true believer from the very beginning, and that was a great surprise and really heartfelt, so thank you for that. Listen, this is a huge honor. I can't thank you enough, and my heartfelt thank you for the entire Meati team for this support from this community. Maybe I'm biased, but this may be one of the best communities, out there, right? I mean, Dan said it all. I can keep it short here. Meati was founded on a pretty bold ambition. We wanted to bring to market nature's most ancient and most nutrient-dense protein, with the goal of creating a food system that is more nutritious, more resilient, and more equitable. Entrepreneurship is definitely not for the faint of heart. And as a team, we've gone through a lot of ups and downs, some tough times, some good times as well. So this award really goes out to everybody, to the community, and to all of our teammates to help make our mission a reality. And there's no doubt in my mind with Meati, we're really going to make the world a better place. So thank you.
Yay. Enjoy, these are well-sourced bundt cakes.
Best bundt cakes from Amy. I'm sure she's here. Thank you, Amy, for the bundt cakes. Okay, so chamber ambassadors are an extension of our staff key member support role. To introduce the chamber, they play a key member support role. To introduce the Chamber Champion Award, please welcome Boulder Chamber's Member Relations Manager, Kate Cook, and Member Engagement Co-Chair, Debi Richards.
Thanks, Danica. I'm Cate, for those of you who don't know me.
I'm Debi.
Yay!
I was speechless last year, so buckle up.
I love it. You'll hear why she was speechless in a few seconds. So real quick, I'm going to do a quick show of hands. Who in here volunteers for a local nonprofit or sits on the board of that nonprofit or a government committee? Okay. That's representative of what we're doing right here. So right now, we are honoring some of the volunteers that work with us at the Chamber. So as part of my role, I have the pleasure of overseeing our ambassador program. And like Danica mentioned, these people, they spend their precious time and their energy really supporting our events like tonight and our programs. As well, they welcome, engage, and support all of you and fellow members. So, this includes everything from setting up, putting up all of the banners and making it look pretty, to taking down everything out after we all leave. And as well, that's the registration, the happy faces you see when you walk in that greet you. They also call new members and welcome them into our community. They are simultaneously joining people for coffees and inviting them to do fun things with each other for those of you who want to dive kind of more deeply into your memberships. So we're really grateful for all of our ambassadors. I'm trying to see how many ambassadors we have outside or inside. I don't raise a hand if there's, okay, in the middle there, we've got some of our amazing ambassadors. So thank you for being here. So they're all fabulous. But every year, we find that some of these ambassadors really go above and beyond to integrate the Chamber community, not only into their business growth plans, but also into their lives and their hearts. The Chamber Champion Award honors one ambassador that has supported our work, our team, and our members in an outstanding way. Tonight, I am honored to stand next to last year's recipient of the Chamber Champion Award, as well our longtime ambassador godmother, self-chosen name, and she's here to announce this year's recipient. On the screen here, you can see some of the words that come to mind when our staff were asked to describe this recipient. So you can get a little visual.
Her presence is a light, and she's a true champion for becoming a Boulder Chamber member. Her graceful presence is warm and inviting, and she's knowledgeable in her field and about what it means to be an ambassador.
Her energy is great to be around. She is skilled at connecting people, and I cannot think of an event I haven't seen her at.
Except for tonight. Specifically, she's raised the bar on how ambassadors can support Chamber staff in preparing for the fall golf tournament. She had the idea for golf prizes to come from other Chamber members and took the lead, running all over town to secure them. She probably drove, didn't she?
Yeah. I can imagine her running.
Yeah.
Her photography skills have been a huge asset to us this year. Her photos made our Function at the Junction event look great, and you'd have no idea how much rain we got during that event based on her skills.
She's always there, willing to help either by making phone calls, taking photos, or just being a smiling face in the crowd.
I'm going to say one thing before you move on. Those are all quotes from staff about this ambassador.
Her presence is a light, and she is a true, turn the page. Sorry. Told you, buckle up. The staff team follows a process to select and vote for the Chamber champion. It was abundantly clear to the ambassadors who this year's champion would be. She's a creative thinker, an adventurous spirit, successful, I'm not going to say that word because I don't want to give away yet. She's successful in her field. She's a skilled DIY home improver, trivia enthusiast, and dedicated community builder. In just this last year, she has helped to plan, photograph, and support over 30 Chamber events and programs, met with numerous members for a call, a coffee, or even trivia. In fact, that's how I met Hannah, having coffee. She transitioned,
That's the best.
Well, crap.
Surprise. We're almost there.
Okay, she transitioned from the vice president of the Chamber's Boulder Young Professionals Board to the co-chair of the Business Women's Leadership Group. Simultaneously, she spearheaded the incredibly successful bi-monthly Boulder Home Pros Networking Group. Unfortunately, she's not here, and we're leaving on a plane to go to Portugal to give her the plaque, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. She's not here with us in person. She's on a small trip across the ocean, which took precedence. I can't believe it. This year's honoree is...
Can we get a drum roll from everybody?
Okay, it's Hannah Hester.
Hannah Hester! Woo! So, part of this award is that it is a surprise. So we didn't have the intel that she had this amazing, very beautiful trip in Portugal until too late. But join us in celebrating Hannah. Thank you for all you do, Hannah, to the video we're making for you. And please congratulate her the next time you see her at an event. Thank you.
We have to.
We'll shake your hands.
We have to go now. We have to catch a plane to Portugal.
Yep. See you later.
Thank you, guys.
Yay. Okay, and now we move to present the Impact Award, which recognizes an individual or local company that has made significant contributions to advance their industry, environmental stewardship, and our social sustainability within the Boulder County community. To introduce our next honoree, please join me in welcoming to the stage Ann Cooper. Broker, RE/MAX of Boulder, and community activist.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna really believe in Meati when I sit on black folks' tables with collard greens and cornbread. And I'm sure that's gonna happen. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen and esteemed guests and members of the Boulder community, it is with great honor and admiration that I stand before you today to introduce the recipient of the prestigious Impact Award, an individual whose life's work has not only transformed the landscape of our community, but has become a beacon of hope, belonging, and cultural enrichment. Today, we celebrate the extraordinary contributions of Dr. Reiland Rabaka. Reiland is a visionary leader whose impact extends far beyond the boundaries of academia. The CAAAS Center, the CAAAS Center at CU, a testament to the culmination of numerous aspirations, finds its beating heart in the tireless efforts of Dr. Rabaka. It is evident that the CAAAS has become more than just a physical space. It is a sanctuary of belonging, community, and culture for Black students, sending waves of pride and optimism throughout the Black community in and around Boulder. In the absence of the CAAAS, Boulder may have felt like a place where few Black individuals, especially young people, could find a sense of comfort and acceptance. Dr. Rabaka's profound impact lies in creating joyful and welcoming spaces for Black students. CAAAS was necessary. In a community where inclusivity is a crucial topic of discussion, Dr. Rabaka's work stands as a foundational pillar for the future. As leaders like Katrina Miller have thoughtfully engaged in reflective dialogues, questioning the inclusivity. Through his words, he navigates the complexities of our society and urging us to see not just the challenges, but the potential for positive change and unity, and helping us revive and talk about, again, through Dr. King's words, a beloved community. And simply put, a beloved community is a community in which everyone is cared for, absent of poverty, absent of hunger, and absent of hate. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., delivered to us again by Dr. Rabaka. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Rabaka exemplifies the essence of the Impact Award. His work transcends traditional boundaries, leaving an indelible mark on our community's cultural fabric. We celebrate his achievements today, and let us not only acknowledge the past, accomplishments, but look forward to the enduring impact his work will have on generations to come. And I wanted to say that when I was growing up, in every Black woman's living room was a picture of Martin Luther King, Jesus, and JFK. And if my mom was alive today, I know that Dr. Rabaka's picture would be on our living room wall, because he stands for everything that my mother stood for and what we as a community of people stand for. I've never really spent any time with Dr. Rabaka, but I can tell you that he's a hero of mine. Whenever I hear him speak publicly, otherwise, actually I heard him speak through a video monitor, and I was glad I was at home by myself and not in an audience, because I was screaming and yelling and saying amen and doing all kinds of stuff. So I only have 2 African outfits, and I wore this one tonight in honor of Dr. Rabaka, because he always has on African attire. And but this one is, I wore this jacket because I might have a little malfunction with my wardrobe, because it's a little too little. And so I'm like, God, please don't let this skirt fall down when I'm going up the stairs. But anyway, we love, love, love Dr. Rabaka, and we are so happy that he's here. And he's really, 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 really changed the landscape in Boulder. And so without further ado, Dr. Rabaka.
I'm at a loss for words, which is really saying something. I want to begin by saying that the words thank you are too weak to really define what's on my mind, what's in my heart right now. I want to respect my dear brother John, and I know y'all have given me some time constraints, but you know, I got to be me. I want to begin by acknowledging the University of Colorado Boulder. All my colleagues, would you please stand up? University of Colorado, see you, Boulder. There's my dean, there's Sona Demidzian, there's Lurie McCall. Yeah, okay, I see you, right? I appreciate you, thank you so much. Again, I think this is one of the most improbable awards and stories of the night. Somebody like myself being embraced here at CU, creating space at the University of Colorado Boulder. Can all my folks from the Boulder branch of the NAACP, would you please stand up? Thank you. There are so many others, but I want to give a special shout out to the University of Colorado Boulder, and also to the Boulder branch of the NAACP. So again, campus partners and community partners for the Center for African and African American Studies. But John, since you got me up here, I want to talk about the beloved community and what that means and why that is important, especially here in Boulder, Colorado. I dream of a world that is committed to acknowledging and honoring the lives, struggles, and leadership of the most marginalized among us, including, but not limited to, those who are girls and women, queer and trans, formerly and currently incarcerated, poor and working class, disabled and differently abled, undocumented, and immigrant. A truly beloved community is committed to combating patriarchy and heteropatriarchy and queerphobia and transphobia just as much as it is committed to combating police brutality and violence against Black and brown folk. The beloved community I envision is committed to mental health and wellness, to immigrants' rights, to the abolition of the prison industrial complex, and to the abolition of the military-industrial complex. Ooh. The beloved community is committed to equal access to education and health care, to food justice, to animal rights and the preservation of plant life, and to open and honest conversation about climate change and environmental racism and their devastating impact on the poorest and most vulnerable among us. There can be no liberation for any of us if we do not center and fight for those who continue to be marginalized and exploited. Beloved community members are in sincere solidarity with all oppressed, exploited, and racially colonized people who are fighting for their liberation. And indeed, we know that our histories and destinies are intertwined. We stand in solidarity with people all over the world who are fighting against the ravages of economic exploitation, environmental injustice, food insecurity, war, and continued colonization. We stand also with undocumented and immigrant people all over the world, but especially here in the United States of America. We honor and recognize indigenous peoples' rights and struggle for land, self-determination, and reparations. The beloved community supports the ambitions and work of all progressive people struggling against 21st century forms of imperialism. Our community also seeks to intervene in the current political climate and assert a clear vision of the democratic world we want to create. We believe that we have to be bridges for those who claim to be our allies and help them evolve into our advocates. And I believe I'm with some advocates in here today. Can you hear me? We must reject quick fixes and false solutions and solemnly believe that we can bring into being a complete transformation of contemporary society, which sadly consistently places profit over people, greed over need, and make it impossible for most of us to live dignified and decent lives. I'm closing. The beloved community, this is my brother, yeah, I love this guy. I love this guy. It's my guy, my guy. You know what I mean? Woo! That's okay. I'm not going to embarrass you, John. Don't worry, baby. The beloved community knows that another world is possible, a world where Latinx folk, Native Americans, Asian Americans, African Americans, and European Americans finally come together and work together to rescue and reclaim our humanity and achieve a multiracial, multicultural, multilingual, and multi-religious American democracy. Let's make Martin Luther King's dream a reality by building the beloved community right here, right now in Boulder, Colorado. Another way and another world is possible, but only if we are willing to work for it, only if we are willing to commit ourselves to making whatever sacrifices are necessary to bring the beloved community into being. Again, I say thank you. God bless you. God keep you. I gotta get cute.
All right. Thank you so much. That was amazing. This next award is my personal favorite, but it's the Virginia Patterson Business Leader of the Year Award. And it is presented to the person who exemplifies determination and commitment to build a strong local economy. To present this next award, please welcome to the stage Will Toor, Executive Director, Colorado Energy Office, State of Colorado.
It's great to be here tonight. It's an honor and a pleasure to stand before you to introduce the recipient of the Virginia Patterson Business Leader of the Year Award, a leader whose unwavering determination and commitment to environmental sustainability and reducing energy and water use is married with a strategic and business-like approach to nonprofit management that has allowed his organization to expand and succeed beyond all expectations. a real source of inspiration for all of us. He's also a dear friend and one of the most genuinely nice people you will ever meet. I first met Neal Lurie more than 20 years ago when the mayors along the US 36 were planning for the future of transit along that corridor. And this brash young employee from Sun Microsystems showed up with hundreds of petition signatures to build a bikeway along US 36. Initially, a lot of people poo-pooed the idea, but Neal was persistent, and that bikeway got built, and I got to do an inaugural ride with him about 10 years later, and have watched over the years as he's made a real difference everywhere he goes. In his 8th year as president and CEO of Resource Central, Neal has evolved Resource into the very essence of a nonprofit business. I think we've all been around nonprofits that have leadership that is well-meaning and focused on social and environmental goals, but sometimes haven't quite figured out how to make the organization really function up to its full capacity. Neal Lurie is not one of those nonprofit leaders. Under his visionary leadership, Resource Central has tripled its operating budget and made remarkable strides in water conservation. When you think of the issues that are facing Colorado in the West right now, the drying of the Colorado River, the multi-decadal drought that we are in, the likelihood with climate change that this is going to continue into the future, water conservation is really one of the most important things that we can be focusing on. And through programs like Garden in a Box, lawn replacement, and Slow the Flow, Resource Central, under Neal's guidance, has saved a staggering 1.7 billion gallons of water. Woo! As we look ahead to 2024, Resource Central is set to implement the largest grant in its history, a $1.5 million endeavor to deepen its impact in the Front Range and expand to the Western Slope, making water-wise yards the new norm across Colorado. As somebody who hates mowing the lawn, I particularly love that. In 2023, Resource Central successfully completed a $3 million capital campaign, doubling the impact of its building materials reuse program. Now, how many people here have gone out to Resource to look for one thing and ended up spending an hour just like browsing through all the great stuff out there? In addition to transforming it into a national model for community reuse, there's also a real focus on making it a welcoming space. Bilingual signs and outreach materials, a mural by the celebrated local artist David Garcia, and a sound system enhancing the shopping experience for customers all contribute to making the organization not just environmentally conscious, but also socially vibrant and inclusive. Neal's leadership is a beacon of character that shines brightly when he comes in early to shovel the snow, lends a helping hand to the lawn removal program when it's short-staffed, or brings hot coffee and pizza on cold days when teams are working outdoors. His actions speak volumes, earning him the respect of his team and board and solidifying Resource Central as one of the most impactful community organizations and a top-notch workplace. Neal Lurie is not just a business leader, he's a community builder, an advocate for sustainability, and a champion of inclusion. His leadership is a testament to the idea that success isn't just measured in budgets and goals met, but in the positive impact a leader can have on the lives of their team members and the community at large. And somehow, while doing all of this, he finds time to do things like riding across the state of Iowa in the middle of the hottest months of summer, somehow figuring out how he can bike 500 miles and find 16,000 feet of elevation gain in what we in Colorado think of as a perfectly flat state. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage the Virginia Patterson Business Leader of the Year, Neal Lurie.
Oh my gosh, what kind of wingnut would actually bike across Iowa in July? I just don't get that at all. Will, thank you so much. My heart is full. This is truly just an incredible honor. But I want to make one thing clear. The impact numbers, the progress, all of the incredible work the Resource Central organization has been able to do is because of the incredible Resource Central team. And we are really fortunate to be able to have many Resource Central staff members and board members here. Can you please have a round of applause for the real rock stars here, the Resource Central team. And by the way, special thanks to John Tayer and the Boulder Chamber as well for just putting on a wonderful event tonight. Thank you. When I started at Resource Central about between 8 and 9 years ago, one of the goals that I had as still a youngish leader was to look at what we can do to be able to pioneer a new model for tackling climate change and water scarcity by harnessing the power of entrepreneurship to be able to help make big change. It's kind of daunting to think about climate change these days. A lot of the news that we hear is heavy. And I think the antidote to heavy news when it comes to climate change is action. And one of the things that Resource Central is so incredibly impactful at doing is really driving action. And there are a few things that we've been able to do to really advance this effort that makes me so proud. The first thing is we start by being able to make conservation really easy so it's accessible to the masses, because if we're just going to wait for our leaders in DC or state leaders or regional leaders to take action there, we'll have one level of success. But I think the real success, the lasting success, is going to come from being able to empower the community to be able to be part of the solution. And that's something that Resource Central and the Resource Central team has been incredibly effective at being able to do. By not just pioneering conservation programs that are really good for the environment, but also doing so in a way where people can save money by reducing their monthly utility bills. And when you combine the two of those things, the economic savings, the environmental savings, you can drive magic throughout the community. And we design our programs to be unbelievably scalable. So sure, it's important to be able to have 10 people or 20 people or 50 people participating in conservation programs. But we design our programs so that you can have hundreds of thousands of people participating in our conservation programs. And because of that, Resource Central has been, and our incredible team have been able to have more than 900,000 people participating in our programs through the years, which makes me incredibly proud. Absolutely. On top of that, we design our programs to be incredibly replicable. So what we're pioneering here, right here in Boulder, Colorado, can then be exported so that community members throughout the state can participate. We now have 52 different communities participating in our conservation programs all across the state of Colorado. And we now have more than 12 different states across the nation participating in our programs. So this is really adding up to big change and something I think we can all be proud of. But it all comes down to this: making it easy for people to conserve, working hard every day, and really advancing our mission to be able to help make water-wise yards the new norm in Colorado by being able to help people transition from thirsty, grassy lawns to water-wise gardens only utilize half of the amount of water that a traditional turf grass lawn will do. By developing national models for conservation and being able to help empower a new generation of climate superheroes who are going to be able to carry the torch forward. So this is what's possible when you can harness the power of entrepreneurship. We can bring the community together to take action. And I'm just incredibly proud of what the team's been able to do. So thank you to Boulder Chamber for the honor of this award. And by the way, if you know anybody who's looking for work, we're going to be hiring dozens of people over the next 2 months. Thank you so much.
All right, and now, before we introduce tonight's final award, the Franny Reich Lifetime Achievement Award, which recognizes an outstanding individual for their legacy of exemplary business achievement and community impact, we are going to change things up a bit. This honoree is joining us live from Australia. We will have him join us on the big screen now. Please, a warm welcome for Doug Green. And to present Doug's outstanding lifetime accomplishments, we have a surprise for him. Please welcome Steve Demos, founder and former CEO of White Wave, makers of Silk Milk.
Good evening, everyone. What a special evening. Thank you very much, John and the Chamber, for what you've done, and all the honorees. What a wonderful place we live in.
Amen. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Tonight I get have the honor to discuss what I call or refer to as the entrepreneur's entrepreneur, Mr. Doug Green. Oh, decades ago, maybe 40 years ago, Doug moved to Boulder, Colorado, and he brought with him New Hope Communications. At that time, the natural and organic foods industry was in its infancy. There was no organic sections in the supermarkets. There were no organic supermarkets. There was a couple health food stores, but Doug saw an opportunity to coalesce and galvanize an emerging industry. And that's exactly what he did. Not only by just moving here, he brought with him, through New Hope Communications, the Natural Foods Merchandiser. That was the first trade journal that coalesced all of us, got us interested in, well, who else is doing this in the country? Who can we learn from? But that wasn't enough. Doug formulated a Natural Foods Expo, a convention for the industry, not only in California, but on the East Coast twice a year. As a matter of fact, as I speak, the Natural Foods Expo in Anaheim is going on with over 60,000 attendees. The attendees are retailers, stores, supermarkets, and over 2,000 purveyors of these items. This has gone from an industry, I moved here when just about Doug did, of maybe $5–10 million in the United States. We're now talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. And this man was the glue that brought us all together. But that wasn't enough. Doug sees things a little bit differently. All of the businesses that he affected here in town, Celestial Seasonings, Bobo's, White Wave, Horizon, Green Mountain Herb, all of these companies are just a few of who are affected here in town. But he looked at town and said, there's more opportunities here. He's the entrepreneur's entrepreneur because he knows how to turn over responsibility of something and chase another vision. He turned over the responsibility to Fred Linder and turned around and opened Rembrandt Yard, a gallery across the street from the Boulderado Hotel, which is not only an art gallery, it's a gathering center. It's a place for people to socialize and come and gather. But that wasn't enough. He wanted to open a restaurant, and he opened Rosetta Hall down on Walnut Street. That is a hall for emerging chefs to demonstrate their wares before they move on into their own entrepreneurship. It again was a social gathering part for the fabric of Boulder, Colorado, and its economy. But guess what? That wasn't enough. He had one very large dream here, and it was the resurrection of the Boulder Theater. Indeed. When we moved here, Doug saw that it was in its dormant phase, and he invested in it, bought it, persevered with it, hired an excellent general manager, Cheryl Ligori, who's here in the audience this evening. And the Boulder Theater has become the cultural epicenter of Boulder. So the Fanny Reich Award goes to someone who has demonstrated entrepreneurship to help sustain Boulder in its environmental awareness, its social awareness, its artistic awareness, its cultural awareness. That is why I call Doug the entrepreneur's entrepreneur. And I am honored to have presented his achievements to you this evening, and so happy to see you finally get this award.
Thank you, Steve. You know, I've been following Steve Demos my whole life. But people don't realize we both had small natural food stores in New Hope, Pennsylvania, many years ago. And then we both ended up in Boulder, and since then I've chased him around India and Africa and quite a few places. He's a legend, and thank you, Steve, for your kind words. And thank you, John. You know, John is one of the few people I can't say no to, as much as I try. John is so persuasive, and thank you for all that you do for the community. But really, it's Boulder. People don't understand that we searched America for 18 months of where we wanted to move our company from New Hope, Pennsylvania, because we knew we needed more people and whatnot. And we chose Boulder, and that was 36 years ago, and it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. Boulder is such an incredible place that great place for a business, great place to raise a family, great place to live. And anywhere you go in the world, and you mentioned Boulder, Colorado, it's the world's most famous small town. In fact, I'm actually sitting here in Australia, across in Byron Bay, across from Boulder Beach. So it's the word Boulder keeps creeping in everywhere. But what I'd like to do first of all here is I really like to thank my wife, Tiffany Mitchum, who's very understanding and also very inspiring. She's there tonight. And I have to start with thanking her to giving me such a stable base to be able to innovate from, and all of my family, all of my kids, my extended family. And then of course at New Hope. New Hope has just been such a boom for all of us in the natural products industry, and Boulder could not be a better place for New Hope. And, you know, now with the 60,000 people going on in Anaheim right now, I've been looking at video footage from it, and it's just amazing. And I can't believe how many people are there from Boulder. It seems like about a third of the population moves to California for this week. But I've had so many leaders there. I also want to thank Fred Linder again, who was just one of the amazing people on that. Now I'd like to switch over to the other thing they talked about in the Boulder Theater, and I'd also like to that was a tough one. It was the music business 29 years ago was the live music business is not what it is today, and it was just a passion project, and we were struggling, and luckily Cheryl Lagore, who had been running the Fox, decided to join us and become our CEO. And then she was just great friends with Dave McKenzie, who's there tonight, I know, and Don Strasberg, who's now co-president of AEG in Denver. And it was a difficult situation. She brought us all together in a very long conversation. It took a couple of years, actually. And that was one of the great days for Boulder, when we had peace and unity in Boulder in the music business. And we could really focus on really working together to bring the best musical talent and the best comedians and the best performers. And now after 29 years, it's a dream, and we've got the Aggie in Fort Collins, and we help with Chautauqua, et cetera, But they have just been great. And Z2, as it's now called, the parent company, has just been a dream come true. And there's lots of great things coming forward. And David Weingarten is also playing a major role in helping us create the new future for Boulder. In fact, people come from all over the United States to want to see what the Boulder Theater and what the Fox Theater are doing, because they want to replicate that in their towns and bring that kind of culture. So that's something I always enjoy, and thank all of you for attending that. Then, of course, the Rembrandt Yard has just been a pleasure, and over 1,000 couples in Boulder have now been married in Rembrandt Yard. And so there's a real legacy, and we have just great corporate events, birthday celebrations, all kinds of celebrations take place there, and that's been a real pleasure. And then Rosetta Hall just kind of came up and just kind of happened through circumstance. But we're so happy that happened. And Sarah Beckwith there, who runs that for us, along with our son, Donovan Green. But it's just, Boulder is one of those places you can have an idea and just start looking around. There's great people, there's great resources, but most of all, it's a great community. People go out, people do things, people are involved. And if you put a thread together of what I do and how I see myself is I'm a community builder. It's all about building community. Life is about building community. Life is difficult, and sometimes life is harder than difficult. And I've worked a lot in Africa, I've worked a lot in Russia, worked a lot of places. I've seen a lot of difficult life and whatnot. And it all goes back to all of us helping each other. That's why I'm glad to see everybody there tonight. That's what it's all about. It's all coming together, honoring people, making connections, learning, processing. And it's that nitty-gritty work of really coming together. And the chamber and all these institutions in Boulder play a really important part about us having community. Community is our strength that takes us forward, and Boulder is a great place to build community. And it just, I mean, it's great to see the governor. We have a great governor. I'm so impressed with Governor Powell and what he's doing, you know, just amazing. But we just are so lucky to have so many wonderful leaders in and around Boulder. I thank you for this award tonight. I'll do my best to live up to it and keep adding to things we do in Boulder. And thank you, the Chamber. Thank all of you. I appreciate this very much. I'm very humbled. Thank you.
Great. Well, we're almost done. We're a little over time, but this was well worth it. So thank you so much for an amazing evening here tonight. I'm very inspired by all these stories and how truly wonderful our community is. Our winners make an impact on their businesses, their clients, their staff, their families, and everyone that lives here. I wanted to note that this was streamed on the Chamber's YouTube channel, so if you want to rewatch it or share it with your friends, because I wish more people could hear these stories that were shared here tonight. Let's take one more opportunity to thank all of the, and show our appreciation to all of this year's honorees and their, thank the presenters who came here all the way from Australia and other places. And thank you for our sponsors listed on our digital program. To our entertainment this evening, Shae, to the Dairy Arts Center for hosting, Spice of Life for the delicious food. Thank you for the Chamber staff for showing up and putting on one of the most inspiring events of the year. I want to give a special shout out to Maya Cordero, sitting back here with me. Come out. She is a rock star. I couldn't have done that without her. She inspires me in her ability to orchestrate so many volunteers, guests, awardees, a surprise guest, and the governor of Colorado. Thank you for all Connections sponsor Spice of Life, Celestial Seasonings, CU Boulder, Rule 4, WW Reynolds and Company, media sponsors BizWest and Daily Camera. Special mention to Amy and Nothing But Cakes, which we will enjoy outside, I think, in a few minutes. Our next event is the annual golf tournament on May 22 at Lake Valley Golf Club. Dessert reception in the lobby. We have exhibitors out there. Please visit them and enjoy the art exhibit from Boulder Chamber member Adderley of Adderley Art with her beautiful paintings on display here. Thank you for attending. Be safe, enjoy some dessert, and enjoy the snow day tomorrow. Yay.